So if we look at tactical recommendation, is there a tactical tip, a to-do, an action item that you could advise a leader or a business owner today, a step they could take to help them advance their business by using the art of the pivot?
Yeah, sure. So like I said, I mean, pivots are hard. You're going into the unknown. And if I could tell, a story or give a piece of advice from my experience, one thing that we did that gave us a little bit more confidence of going in this direction of the pivot is we had this hypothesis that, you could charge significantly more for a bike that had this technology and system on it. We had been selling it to other companies and we had been telling them the same thing, but they weren't charging much more for the system. And in fact, they weren't really even marketing the safety for all kinds of different liability reasons. They didn't want to make their other bikes look dangerous, so they weren't talking about safety with the ones that had it. But
Sure.
regardless, we had this hypothesis that you could charge significantly more. And if that was true, then that would make our bike company make sense because we would obviously, be marketing the safety and talking all about it. So what we did as a test was we went into some local bike shops, kind of made friends with the owners and convinced them to let us set up like half of their bikes on the floor with SureStop and leave some of them without them and charge $50 to $75 more for the bikes with SureStop. And all we said is, look, just explain what the system does. If somebody buys it for $75 more, you keep the $75. We just want to come back every week or two and figure out if people are buying these or if they're going for these. So every time we'd go back, the bikes that had SureStop would be out the door and all the bikes that didn't have them weren't. And the bike shop was, they were making $75 on each new one. And so that little test kind of, gave us another data point, gave us a little bit more confidence, and also gave us an example to tell the story to, our investors and different stakeholders that were part of the company that like, hey, there's a real opportunity for us to capture the value of this technology through our own bikes much better than what's being done right now. And so my advice would be any kind of, small practical test that you could put together. That was an example of, it was extremely
like a
low
case
cost
study
for us.
to value to show the value.
Because that helps. In our case, that was a very low cost thing to do, right? But we didn't have to create our bikes yet. We didn't have to go through all the, design and manufacturing of them. But it gave us this data point that gave us the conviction and confidence that this really was the right direction to go. And that just helped us, carry through the difficulty of actually changing the business and going through everything that you need to go through. So any kind of small kind of practical test that you can do like that both gives you the confidence and can develop a story around leading the business through a major pivot.